Hi, my name is Matthias Nordwig from Programmiere.de. If you have a WordPress webpage and if you're looking for an effective way to protect all the forms on your page from spam, and if that spam protection should be invisible to the user, if it should be GDPR compliant and track no user data, and if it should be for free, this video is made for you. I will show you how you can install and administrate the GDPR compliant ReCaptcha plugin for all your forms in WordPress. We see the dashboard of my WordPress administration area. In a first step, we need to install the GDPR compliant ReCaptcha. Therefore, we go to the plugins, add new. We type GDPR compliant ReCaptcha, scroll a bit down, and if we find this sexy guy here, we check the title for all forms. If that is so, install now, click activate, and that's it. All the forms of the pages from your current WordPress instance from now on are protected from spam. In the header of the settings page, you can see a hyperlink to the rating page for this plugin. If you are happy with the plugin, please rate it. The first two options, save spam messages and save clean messages, are intended to control whether a form submission is saved or not. For the plugin, each form submission is called message. A spam message is a submission that has been classified as spam, and a clean message is a message that has not been classified as spam. With the plugin comes an inbox that can be used in order to view each message. Let me show you how that looks like. You will find it in the main menu as ReCaptcha GDPR messages. The inbox is subdivided into the folders messages, spam, and trash. In fact, the folders look quite similar. You can view the message details. You can move messages between folders. You can do bulk actions if you have many messages. You can search messages for specific values. And you can delete messages from the trash. Let's go back to the settings page, which is placed below the settings menu of WordPress called ReCaptcha GDPR compliant. The option block spam can be used to stop the plugin from blocking spam. Usually you will do that if you just want to flag spam instead of blocking it, which is a further option that I will explain to you. If you block spam, that means that any kind of further processing of the respective submission is being blocked. But if you are used to get a form submission forwarded to your mail account in order to be managed via mail programs like Microsoft Office, for instance, you may wish to get. This could make sense if you would like to check whether only real spam is classified as spam. In this case, you would set up a rule that automatically sorts spam messages in a spam folder in Microsoft Office, for instance. Therefore, a flagging of respectively classified messages would help you. We all know that scenario when important messages vanish into the spam folder. I don't believe that this mistake will happen with that plugin, but for better sleep, you have the option to flag spam messages instead of blocking them. The blocking of form submissions may also prevent further submission processing for spam from other plugins. Even for them, you can use flagging instead of blocking spam. The option Contact Form 7 support is for better integration of forms that are implemented in Contact Form 7. If you don't use that option, the plugin will work properly nevertheless. The options Flag Spam Messages, Save spam messages with flag, field name suffix to flag spam, and new post fields to flag spam are intended to control whether and how spam is being flagged. Whenever you want the spam to be flagged instead of being blocked, uncheck block spam, check flag spam messages, and define how the flagging shall be done. The option Save spam messages with flag does really what it says. Just check it if you want to test in your plugins spam folder whether you get the desired output. The option field name suffix to flag spam is intended to define technical field names that shall be used in order to flag spam, and a suffix which shall be added to their values. Therefore, each combination of technical field name and suffix is added in a new line and separated by a colon like given here. The option New Post Fields to flag spam can be used to add completely new fields to a spam message in order to flag spam. In order to add multiple fields, you can do so like for the field before. Let's take a look how a flagged message will look like. Therefore, I'm going to the plugin spam folder and open a message that has already been classified as spam. As you can see here, the two fields Vorname and Nachricht got a respective suffix spam in brackets. And a field named crazy field name spam with the value spam has been added to this message. If you need to know what the technical field names of your own forms are in order to specify the flagging, you can just submit a form and take the field names from this inbox. Before that, ensure that you enable the Save Messages option of the plugin. Usually, it is not useful to use multiple fields in order to flag spam for one type of submission. But if you have several forms, for instance, let's think for an order form and a contact form, they may use different technical field names. In order to flag spam for both of them, you can list these multiple fields like here. If you want to test your settings to flag spam, you don't have to wait for a spam bot, but instead you can use the option Simulate Spam Messages. If you check this option, each submission on your forms and login pages from now on will be treated as spam. Let's see how that works. Before we ensure the following options: check Save Spam Messages, uncheck Block Spam, check Flag Spam Messages, check Save Spam Messages with flag. Enter your desired message flagging either as suffix or as a new field. Check Simulate Spam Messages. Save changes. Open your form in a different browser that is not logged into your WordPress administration area, as otherwise the plugin will recognize you to be a human, because a logged-in user cannot be a spam bot. Go to your form and submit it. As we can see here by the red frame, the submission was treated correctly as spam. Let's check the plugin's spam messages inbox. Check the last spam message and you should find your desired flagging. Don't forget to uncheck Simulate Spam Messages on the settings page, as otherwise all submissions of your forms will be treated as spam. We go back to the settings page. Uncheck Simulate Spam Messages and Save Changes. The next option, Subject Fields, can be used in order to define the titles of messages to be shown in the plugin's inbox. By default, the title consists of the point in time when a form was submitted. In order to get a more meaningful title for the inbox, you need to add the respective technical field names of each message type line by line to this option. Let's take a look how that works. We take the technical fields Vorname, Nachname and email from this message type and add it to the title. Here we add them. Now we send a new message from the respective form. Before that, we ensure that we have checked the option Save Clean Messages and we save the settings. We go back to the plugin's inbox. Here we can see that the just added technical field names, Vorname, Nachname and email, have been added to the last message title. Let's go back to the settings page. The option Apply for WordPress-Login can be used to enable the spam protection for the WordPress-Login. Even if this is useful to do, I want to warn you to do so carefully and knowingly. And I don't want to warn you only for this plugin, but for any type of plugin that protects your WordPress administration login page. As if anything goes wrong here, in the worst case, the plugin won't let you in anymore. Therefore, you should not activate this option if you don't know how to deactivate the plugin without logging in. I do not believe that anything goes wrong, but it is easy to learn how to delete a plugin without logging in, and I strongly recommend you to learn that before you activate any option that protects your login page. The last 4 options are intended to control the spam protection mechanism itself. They are pretty well balanced and don't need to be changed again. Before I explain these options, I need to explain the mechanism of the spam protection itself. Starting with a web server, with a browser of the visitor and with a visitor. The browser of the visitor requests the page. After that, the web server sends the page to the browser. Then a visitor does any kind of user interaction and thereby initiates the browser to request a hash puzzle. This is a very important step, because if we wouldn't do so, computation effort would start immediately and we may affect Google bots and other search engine bots we don't want to affect. In the next step, the web server sends a hash puzzle, which is a kind of enigma. In the next step, the browser of the visitor calculates a checksum for the hash puzzle, which costs computation effort. In the next step, the visitor submits the form. The web server validates the submitted checksum and thereby classifies the submission. In this context, the salt is a kind of password which, amongst other parameters, is used to generate the hash puzzle. In contrast to the other parameters, the visitor can't know it. Thus, it is important to secure the spam protection. By default, it is generated randomly at the point in time of the plugin installation. The directory for used hash puzzles is used to save used hash puzzles, which are not to be taken anymore. The file is deleted after every 1,000 entries. The time window defines how long each puzzle is valid until a new puzzle has to be calculated. The difficulty level defines how many times the visitor's browser needs to guess the checksum approximately, until it gets the right one. If it is too high, a loading screen may appear to the user. If it is too low, a spam bot may take the calculation effort. The default value will require less than a second of the calculation effort, even for mobile devices on the one hand, and kill every spam bot on the other. If you liked the video, just leave me a comment or give me a like. And please don't forget to rate the plugin as well if you like it, because it makes a lot of work to develop these free plugins. Thank you for listening.